If you want to give yourself the best possible chance of winning asylum in the United States, then please watch this video to the end. I've adjudicated thousands of immigration applications as an immigration officer with the US government. And then I have, as an asylum lawyer, helped hundreds of people present the strongest asylum case possible. And I'm taking the insights that I've gained through those experiences and distilling them into core elements that you need to account for in building and then presenting your asylum case. You're about to discover the 5 keys to a successful asylum case. I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, well, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. Let me know in the comments if you've got an asylum case pending, or maybe you're considering applying. And I'd especially like to hear from you if you've been waiting for an asylum interview for multiple years. All right, here are the 5 keys to asylum success in the USA. Keep these in mind and incorporate them into everything you do as you move forward in your case, and you'll increase your chances for asylum success. Okay, number 1, credibility. You see, if the judge or immigration officer doesn't believe you, then well, you're not getting asylum. And believe me, many cases are denied on credibility grounds. And the really sad thing is that this very often happens even when the person is actually telling the truth. So maybe the judge just thinks that they're lying, or worse still, believes them but doesn't want to grant asylum and uses credibility as an excuse to justify the denial. So you've got to be extra careful about this. You can't give them ammunition to support a negative credibility finding. Inconsistencies, even minor ones, within your written materials and your testimony can raise red flags. A mismatch in dates, numbers, or even small details of your story can undermine the credibility of your entire claim, leading to rejection. So your job is to avoid even the appearance of a possible inconsistency or anything in your case that just doesn't feel quite right to the decision maker. Now, this is admittedly a tall task because, your case is probably complicated, right? The events you're talking about might have happened a really long time ago, and recounting them could be traumatic for you. But still, listen, you've got to avoid problems in your case that call your credibility into question. All right. Number 2, understanding the core elements of asylum eligibility. So most asylum seekers don't really know what's required to win asylum. They think they'll be okay if they just kind of tell their story, talk about what's happened and why they fear going back to their home country. It's not that simple. Asylum is complex. The eligibility requirements are rigid, and you're being asked to explain your case under very stressful circumstances to a perhaps hostile audience in a very short period of time, to a judge or immigration officer who will probably be impatient with you. You've got to know what they need to know about your case so that you can give it to them in a clear, concise way. And most people don't do that. They ramble and they talk about things that really aren't relevant to their case, failing to focus sufficiently on the most important things. Here's how it works. The 3 main elements of any asylum case are past persecution, future persecution, and something called nexus, which means the connection between the persecution and one of the 5 enumerated protected grounds under US asylum law. So for past persecution, the question is whether the harm that you've already suffered is severe enough to rise to the level of persecution in the way that that term, persecution, is defined in US asylum law. For future persecution, you're trying to convince the judge that yes, the evidence in the case in fact shows that you're at real risk of grave harm in the future if you have to go back to your country. And finally, you got to show that the persecutors are motivated to harm you because you possess one of the 5 protected characteristics, or at least the persecutors think that you do. And those protected grounds are your race, religion, nationality, political opinion, and something called membership in a particular social group. By the way, if you want to maximize your chances for success in your asylum case, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you don't miss the insights that I share on this channel. Okay, we're at number 3 on our list of the 5 keys for a successful asylum case: explaining your case on paper. you can greatly increase your chances for success by providing what is essentially a roadmap for how to get to the answer yes in your case in the easiest way possible. Before you ever set foot in the asylum office for your interview or in the immigration court for your hearing, well, you want the officer or the judge to understand your case and to have all the information that they need in order to see that you should get asylum, okay? Now, there are 4 elements to this packet, this asylum road map. 1, a declaration that you write narrating your story compellingly and cohesively, yet concisely, and emphasizing how your experiences align with the criteria for asylum. Now, 2nd is evidence. You should provide documents that back up your claim. This can include things like photos, medical reports, police records, letters from witnesses, or really anything else that adds weight to your claim. And 3rd is country conditions information. This includes reports from nonprofit organizations or governments, as well as news articles that help to contextualize your case, providing a backdrop against which your experiences and your fear of returning can be understood. Now, the last element of the Asylum Road Map, this packet that you're submitting, is a legal brief by your asylum lawyer, where they're taking the facts of your case and applying them to the law and showing the decision maker exactly how you meet each of the asylum requirements. All right, next up, key to asylum number 4, practicing your testimony. The asylum interview or court hearing can be an intimidating experience, and the way that you convey your story can really make or break your case. Listen, the truth is that it's going to be harder than you expect. The officer or judge is not just going to let you sort of talk freely and explain yourself. They're going to ask you question after question after question. They're constantly interrupting you. They're changing topics frequently. And the truth is, some of them are anti-immigrant and they're just looking for an excuse to deny your claim. So you've got to be ready for this. And practicing is the best way to ensure that you're ready, to ensure that you minimize errors and that you can effectively present your case on your big day. Engaging in mock interviews or practice interviews can prepare you for this daunting encounter. It will help you understand, the types of questions that you'll face and the level of detail expected in your answers. And you'll get feedback on the best way to articulate what it is that you're trying to express. This preparation helps alleviate some of the anxiety associated with these proceedings, and it equips you to deliver your testimony confidently and coherently, ensuring both that you explain your case in a way that shows how you meet the asylum requirements and helping you to avoid mistakes that can sink your case. Okay, lastly, number 5, having competent legal counsel. Having a great asylum lawyer significantly enhances your chances of success. Statistics show that asylum seekers represented by attorneys have higher approval rates than those who go it alone. An experienced asylum lawyer can navigate the complexities of immigration law, ensuring that your application and your supporting materials are as strong as possible and that you're well prepared for your interview or hearing. So basically, they're going to help you ensure that all 4 of the asylum keys that we've just talked about are working in your favor. Also, they can actually advocate for you during your interview or your immigration court hearing, ensuring that the decision maker understands your case and that your rights are protected. Listen, the asylum process is difficult. Having a lawyer by your side, guiding you and supporting you, is going to make your life so much easier, removing a lot of the stress that comes with building and then presenting a winning asylum case. And yeah, while the cost of hiring an attorney may seem daunting, the value they can bring to your asylum application and to your broader claim cannot be underestimated. We're talking about your future here, about your safety, and your ability to stay here and build the life in America that you've dreamed of building. This investment in your future is well worth it. If you're ready to take the next step and get help with your asylum case, then please call my office today. That number is 713-909-0401. And remember, we help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you live. Call us today, okay, to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can see if we can help you to secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's my honor to support you in your asylum journey.